Hey everyone, welcome to SF Garnish Music Production. I'm joined here with Cello Joe. This is our 12 o'clock on Wednesday sessions during the pandemic quarantine. We'll be working on Ableton Live 10 Suite using Splice. And the things that we're working on here are things that hopefully can help you with your production, with your friends and your community. If you want to learn more about electronic music production, go to sf.garnishmusicproduction.com or email us at sf@garnishmusicproduction.com. How's it going, Cello Joe? Are you there with me?
I sure am, Justin. It's going great.
Awesome. So, what we have here today is our track we were kind of taking from the Tipper No Dice track, some inspiration at 100 BPM. And we also worked on a track last week using some of your Splice samples, which is up online. If you want to go get that from Splice, go look up Cello Joe. He's got awesome beatboxing cellist samples for you there. So we want to actually go through just a little bit utilizing, let's see here. Whoop. Yeah, I believe that this is the right one. Whoop. There we go.
I just downloaded the Funky Jam Stuff project that you shared on Splice, so you did it right.
I did it right. Okay, so just to show people
Yeah, I can see
what I did, pretty much. Can you see what I'm sharing, Joey, or am I not sharing it with you yet?
you're not sharing it with me.
All right, I should share it with you so you can see this as well. So let's go back here and bring Joey into the mix so he can kind of see what's going on. So we're going to go into our Splice screen and share. All right. So you can see
You got Josh Mellinger's packs loaded up there.
Yeah, so there were some missing things from our song, and I wanted to kind of go through finding files. If you ever, not organize your files correctly, here's ways that you can kind of find them back, re-downloading them from Splice, searching for them, and then putting them in the appropriate area. I think I lost this because I was changing locations and didn't do a collect all and save. So
Yeah.
I do want to go through that today and make sure that he's in there. But in our project folder right here, all I clicked on was this little side 3-dot thing, and I said manage collaborators. I think it said invite collaborators at first, and then I typed in Cello Joe. His name popped up, and I said add, and that was about 10 minutes ago, so maybe 15 minutes ago, and he says that he already has all the files that way. And one thing that you want to check out, Joey, is that if what happens, because I have some Wave plugins that I purchased, and I'm curious,
Yeah.
if you have those, it should be fine. But if you don't, it might come up blank. It might be like there's a missing plugin.
Uh, it didn't give me any notifications that I had missing plugins, but I do notice that happens often. And the way to get around that is actually to freeze any tracks that use plugins, because then Live will basically render the audio in place, and I will be able to just get the audio. It'll just come up as audio. I won't be able to change any of the parameters of your plugins. I'll just have the rendered audio. So
That's a great
I
idea.
don't see. I actually see effects Will Marshall DB0 JA on your guitar JA01 track,
Uh-huh.
and DJ Chetta no effects. Abyss Kit, that's there. I don't see any plugins, but that's the way you get around it. Is whatever tracks have plugins, you right click the track and then you choose freeze track, and then Live will do this thing that says freezing track in a progress bar, and then it'll change the track to look a different way. It's like grayed out or greened out or something like that.
Yeah,
And then it basically is just audio.
totally. So
That's the way to get around that.
Here, I'll just show that really quick in here so people can see what you're talking about. Is I would just go and select all this, right click, and then press freeze track right here, right? And what that
Yep.
does is it freezes all of the effects that Joey's talking about. those crying sounds, those could be on our sample pack as well, but for now that's just the ambience of our birds and crying baby sounds of where I'm at in the quarantine these days. So as we're freezing those tracks, I'm actually just going to unfreeze them because I don't really want to do that to those specific samples. You can always unfreeze them and then start working on them again, just as long as you have the original VST plugins that were in the file. I think that actually when I did that thing with you, I didn't go too far into mixing, so I didn't bring in the nice waves compression that I normally use. Yeah, so here's an example of how it looks when it's frozen, is that this all gets all blue or grayish, and then all this down here. So all these parameters can't be moved around. But the great thing is that if you have a collaborator, they can hear all those parameters in Splice, which is something that I just learned about. Thanks, Joey. All right, so it's as easy as selecting it and right-clicking and then unfreeze track, and it's unfrozen. Okay, so let's go back to Joey here. And so, Joey, we have our tipper track. I want to, make sure that all of our missing files of our tombak and tabla at a 90 and 100 BPM that we brought in can be put in the song. And then I was thinking we can maybe bring up the track. And one thing that I was considering is how quickly can we work on a track on my side of Splice, pause for maybe 10 minutes, and then you open it, and can those changes be effective that quick? Like, how long does it take? And it probably depends on how much we upload in audio, but I just wanted to do that as a test so that we can kind of know how long we have to wait before the next person has to work on it. How's that sound? So you might be able to...
I don't think it'll be long.
Yeah, that's great, man. Okay, well, let's go ahead and jump into our first track here. This one is almost done. We've really came pretty far on this. I'll kind of expand this out so we can kind of see a little bit more. I want to make sure that you guys can hear this as well as Joey. So I'll just play a little bit of it. Are you hearing that, Joey?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so what I was doing right here is that we have some missing files, and this is kind of like a bummer because it means that the organization on the back end was a little bit wonky. But what I was doing, because I know that I got these samples from Splice, is I was just going Command R and copying that name, the WCP tabla, and then opening up my Splice and looking in my samples. And I didn't see it right away, so I just was going to go in and copy that in right here, and it pops up. And it looks like I do already have that in here. And what I want to do is copy that into my folder. This is kind of like manually doing it. You can do a collect all and save eventually once it's all connected, but let me try this out. So here I have, this is actually just a quick, I went into the exact folder of where my samples are, and I'm going to paste item. So that's in there. Okay, so now it's still saying offline, but what I can do is now I can search for it by clicking down here in the bottom left. And let's go ahead and expand this out so I can really see which one was I working with. So I know that I just brought in this sample, right? The 112 tabla. Oh. And it looks like that popped up right away. So yes. One new candidate was found. So these are the two that I put into that folder just from doing that. So it looks like we have that. The tombak. Have you ever done this manually like this, Joey?
No, usually I do the automatic search and I just let it find the files and I set it to the entire hard drive that I think the file is on.
Okay. Yeah, I my automatic search was just taking forever, so that's why I was like wanting to speed up the process. Um,
Oh yeah, I'll also use spotlight search. You know, like if you press Command Spacebar,
uh-huh.
it brings up the spotlight,
Yeah.
or if you click in the upper right corner where there's that magnifying glass, I just do that and I type in the name, or I paste in the name rather, and then it usually will find it on the hard drive real fast.
So let's just see if this works, because this might be
I see it down there. I see it in the list on the left-hand side.
the Tombach.
Yeah, see,
That's
100.02. Actually, I don't see it.
yeah, that's so I think actually I need to download this properly. This is the thing about Splice is I did this before I knew to really download it or something. Um, so yeah, it's not even on my computer. That's what I'm finding out. Maybe. Yeah, WCP. Yeah, like there's no Tombach. I can even just type in Tombach. Tombach. Oh wait, I did see it. Oh no,
That's
so
an analysis file.
it's analysis files. So we actually oh here's a few though, but it's the wrong one though.
Scroll
110.
down. There it is. Oh 02. I just saw it. It was just there. Oh
Oh,
02.
but it's 110, not 100. So yeah,
Oh,
so that's the thing is I then downloaded a bunch of other files properly and they're on my computer. But
oh.
initially, yeah, so I didn't do this. So it's kind of like I'm kind of saving some time, I guess. It's really the only way. So I'm going in here and I'm going to select it, paste in the Tombach. It looks like, yeah, it's not in here. I'm going to have to use a credit to get it. I'm then going to copy it to my clipboard and then bring it in. That's not what I wanted. To here and paste the item. That looks like that is what's being used all across this bottom. So that might be the only one that I need. And there it is right here. Okay, so that is now thing, and I'm going to go, no new candidates were found. Okay, so I think, is there any more?
You still have a Tabla D90, the very top,
Yeah,
the top slot of the missing media files.
yeah, the D90, the O2, and the O7. Okay, so I'm going to do that exact same thing, copy, going into Splice, and selecting that, and yep, once again, that's so weird. I was able to use it somehow, and then it didn't capture it. So that might have been an issue with Splice. Who knows? But we're going to fix it right now. So now the one I just did is a 2. I might as well do the 7 after that, but
Well, do you have any external hard drives that were on your system that are no longer connected to your system?
no, actually I made sure of that today. Yeah.
Hmm.
Looks like the O7 is being used, but I guess that's the same file because it just loaded all of them.
Yeah, there's one more missing file on the oh, and maybe that's not a missing file.
Maybe it found it actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't say that it's missing. It
Okay.
says location current project. So now you should do a collect all and save,
Okay. File.
just to be safe. I don't know why it doesn't do that automatically. Like why? I guess because some people don't want to do that because it's going to decrease their drive space by having doubles of files.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
any case, it's a good practice to get in the habit of just using collect all and save.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I did a collect all and save after doing this work on with Josh's samples, but this is actually our first time listening with Josh's samples in a couple of weeks, so maybe we'll listen and see if we like what we did.
Okay.
Are you hearing all that, the CPU overloading?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot going on here. I'm surprised it's overloading. What do we have going on this computer? Let me just check. We got quite a bit going on just because we're trying to do the live stream. Let me just cut out everything extra that I don't need. Oops, looks like I need everything else. I'm also noticing, like, I'm already at 120 samples buffer size. Sometimes I find out that if I go up to really high and then back down again, it sometimes like clears the cache. Have you ever had that happen?
Well, you're not recording anything, so you don't need the latency to be very low. So you can actually leave it on a higher sample size and it'll reduce the CPU load.
Yeah, okay, so that actually might help.
And honestly, according to people that I've talked to, you can, if you're using an interface that has a its own pass-through, you know, so you're monitoring through your interface, like the Apollo Twin does that. So if you're listening on headphones in the, you use the XR18, right? So if
Yep.
you're recording in through the XR18 and you're listening on the headphone jack of the XR18, you don't need to have the monitor on in live. So there's no latency anyway. So you can just leave it at 1024 and let your computer breathe and not have to work so hard.
Oh, that's cool. That's the issue though. Is like if you want to use effects in Ableton, and you're in auto or in mode, then that's where you bring the latency down to like 125, 128 buffer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're going to be trying to monitor using effects in Ableton, then yeah, you need that sample size down at 128 or 32 even, or 64.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just recording with your interface and you don't have to hear what it sounds like coming through live, you can keep it at 1024 because it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, totally. Have you heard of let's see, Collier is her name? I think that's how you spell her name. Yeah, Rachel K. Collier.
No?
Okay.
What is it?
Can I share this with you briefly? Okay. So
Hi, I'm Rachel K. Collier, and today I'm going to show you how I create a live looping performance using Ableton Live.
all right. We don't need to actually listen to this right now, but I really suggest you check out what she did with her presets. She did it like backward from what Ableton normally does. She ended up putting on her she took out exclusive record and she actually arms all of her tracks in record mode and uses all the built-in effects in the program, and really has some great sounds coming out of it. One thing.
Wait, could you say that? Could you say that again? She took out all the what?
So normally you just want one in record mode at a time, often, right? Like one
Yeah.
engaged. But what she does is she put it to where in her presets she said non-exclusive arm right here. Actually, am I showing this to everyone? I'm not. Let me just bring this back. Cool. So right here I'm in non-exclusive arm, and then she had some different settings. Instead of like launch mode, she would like go to toggle instead of, I think it's automatically trigger, so it toggles between in scene mode. Like if something's off, it'll turn on. If it's on, it'll turn off.
Yeah, when you launch the clip.
Yeah, but what I noticed though is in her setup, she didn't talk anything about latency at all. And when I did her setup, she didn't talk about how to get it to where, it sounds good without latency.
Is she using any microphones or live instruments, or is she using like all keyboards and MIDI controllers?
She's using a microphone and she's singing into it. She's doing little like tapping rhythms. Anyway, I really suggest checking this little thing out. I'm not copying her setup, but it was really helpful to copy it for a day, try it out, and then kind of make my own setup from that. I actually went back to keeping things in off mode, just because I don't like that 15 to 30 millisecond delay that happens in Ableton still. And I'm actually doing most of my effects in my X-Air 18. So if I really wanted like some cool octaver or reverb, I'm putting it on there. Once I record, then I have that channel preset to start recording. Actually, once I record into it, it'll play back with the effects of Ableton instead, if that makes sense. Yeah, she has a cool setup though. So I didn't really like the tone block. It was a little bit loud for me, so I brought it back a few dB, but I liked the tabla right away. What about you?
I was gonna say, yeah, that it just needed a little bit of mixing with the volume.
I'm gonna bring it back a little bit more and just listen in to that. I think our ending needed some more energy, and it might be that his tabla might bring that. Yeah, it needs a little bit more.
I would say that there's a high synthy part that needs to come down in volume. Sounds very ethereal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
From the ending outro.
Yeah, whatever that part is, it's like very high synth sound.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which track is that?
I think I might have. It's probably a MIDI file. Drums all. There it is right here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that needs to come down.
What are you thinking? Like just a few dB?
It's at -12. I would put it, just try it at -15 and hit listen, and then maybe more. Yeah, I would say another 3 dB is still really loud.
That tabla has
Sounds better like that.
Yeah, that's good. There's some ringing in the tabla. It's kind of cool. It's big, but a little too much ringing, I think. And it's really like these stops are cool, but it kind of like it's abrasive. Like I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, well, you could drag out the loop and let it play through, and then you can do
That was a little better. I was thinking like some type of like little delay throw.
that could work. There's also just dragging out the loop and then using a utility to kind of duck the volume of the tabla so it continues, but it's quieter.
From
Yeah, like that.
From like here. I see.
Yeah.
And
Or you could just yeah, split the clip and then just like change the volume of that clip so it's lower.
Yeah. -6 and -6. Oops. All right.
You could also have just grabbed the original clip that you changed the volume, hold down Option, and drag it over to the new spot, because then you would just be copying the clip.
I think it's a different.
Having to adjust.
It might be a different part of the loop though.
Oh,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that. I think I might do the same effect right here. Just cut that out and drop it by -6. Cool. It's already kind of doing that throw anyway, but that's cool. All right, that's
it's really hard for me to tell what's what because Zoom is doing its audio compression stuff and I'm listening on earbuds, so I'm really just I can't really monitor the situation the same way you can. So
yeah, kind of flying blind.
yeah.
Sorry, man. Where are you?
I'm in Vermont.
Vermont. Dude, just go ahead and turn your camera around. Show everybody the beauty of Vermont. It's one of my most favorite places to be, man. My God. Dude.
Rural. It's definitely rural.
You're in a log cabin, too. That's epic.
Yep.
Very cool, man. Well, why don't we try and
Listen it, whole thing.
yeah, we could listen to this. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll do one listen. And do you have your laptop ready and available?
I'm on my laptop.
You are.
Yeah,
And do you have the ability to send through audio interface good audio to Zoom?
I didn't plug all that stuff in.
Okay. So then maybe I should just keep driving then. Because I was just thinking that we could try doing Splice where you open the file first or second. Like it could give you some time to set up your audio interface. And we work on the other track that we worked on last week. And then do a test of, I might like move a few knobs and do a new audio, and then just see how quickly you can it uploads the Splice and you can start working on it. Does that make sense?
Not quite sure what you mean by that. Why do I need my audio interface? Am I recording stuff?
No, just to be able to send it to Zoom again so that the live stream and myself can be in the loop. You're not just like listening and be like, yeah, it's good, man. I like this. Like, keep us in the loop over here just so we're not too blind. We'll be, maybe a little bit less quality, but possibly not.
Why don't you share this tipper project that you're working on right now?
All right, that sounds good. So I'm going to go save as. I like to put this as the next number up. It's in my main thing. Oops, I'm sure sharing the wrong stuff. So I just did save as. I change it to 0.07, and then should I go into Splice and try and bring it into my projects? Is that what you mean?
Sure.
Okay. Do I drag and drop in here? Like, what do you suggest?
Well, I mean, if you save it in the Splice folder,
Oh,
it automatically syncs it. But
got it.
You can share it from anywhere if you change that preference. It's how you want to use the program.
Yeah, if I do everything, it's just gonna overwhelm me. I think that's my experience so far. It's like using the cloud. It's like I don't really like doing that.
It doesn't actually sync all of your projects if you choose share from anywhere. It will ask you each time, do you want to sync this with Splice? Or you can just put it in the Splice folder. And
exactly. That's how I've been doing it. It's like everything in Splice folder I know is going to be shared. Did I? Okay, cool. I'm gonna close this down and just make sure that I can open it in the Splice folder now. So tipper, I should probably call this something different.
Hold on, because there is a folder there. If you go back up to see that collaborations folder?
Yep.
If you open that up.
Cello Joe.
And then that's my collaboration folder, and those are the ones that are shared. So you should put that project in that folder.
Inside collaborations, inside Cello Joe?
Oh, actually, I don't really know. What is?
I mean, honestly, I could literally just put it here and then just make sure that it opens up, and I say collaborate with Joey, and yeah, but let's
try that.
Okay. It would be nice to have one folder for everything, right? So why don't I do that? Here are my collaborations. This one's collaboration with multiple though, so like Josh, and we don't have any of Evan on here yet.
Yeah, just put it there then.
Okay. So let's see. Right here, it should pop up in my folder soon.
Maybe you need to click the little circular arrows.
Refresh. 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 Okay. That's all right. Let's go ahead and let's just work on something else while it's probably going to work in the background, and we can check in, in 20 minutes to see if it did or not. How does that sound?
Well, no, I think it makes more sense to try to, get this, because in 20 minutes, if it hasn't done anything, then that's going to be not good. We should know how to use this program.
Absolutely.
It's not rocket science.
Totally. So
maybe try drag and dropping the project file directly onto this Splice window right here.
I don't want it to go in twice though. I mean, it's in my Splice folder. The last time
not showing up in your list.
Yeah. The last time I did this, it was pretty right away. Okay, I will try and do what you said. Nope, that didn't work.
How to add a project to Splice. Click the gear icon in the Splice desktop app, then click Preferences, then Sync, and just make sure that this Ask to Sync New Project button is enabled. That's one thing.
Okay. Well,
any project saved in the Splice folder or any of its subdirectories will sync automatically.
Great.
So you should really have chosen Save As from Ableton and then saved the project into the Splice folder. Maybe that's different than just copying the project into Splice.
I mean, this is the saved 0.07. It's in Splice, so I can open it and do that again. I literally moved the entire song, all the samples, into Splice. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just read the Splice documentation on their website, and it says any project saved in the Splice folder or any of its subdirectories will sync automatically. Oh, you can also drag and drop existing projects into your Splice folder to sync them. So it should have synced already.
I think it just takes some time, man. I mean, if I look at how big this folder is, it's probably 1.3 gigs. I mean, maybe more even. Who knows?
That should only take a few minutes if you're on broadband, if you have a fast connection.
I have a pretty fast connection. It's the upload speed's 11 and download speed is 300. Okay.
Oh, your upload speed's 11? That's pretty slow upload speed.
That's pretty fast. I mean, what's yours?
At home it's like 990.
Oh, really? Which service do you use?
It's AT&T Fiber.
Dang, Bay Area versus Grass Valley, man. I'm in
it's
super
gigabit.
Yeah, I'm super fast for up here. I went from 3 upload to 11, and I had to pay some extra money.
Oh wow. Well, here's another thing you could do. Here's another thing is go into your Splice on the web and look at the projects that you have through the web interface.
Okay.
If you go to splice.com and then click Studio, should show you.
All right. I mean, we know it's going to go up eventually, but we just want to make sure it is uploading, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yo, bro. There's a message from you. So, view your profile, studio, projects. 7 days ago. So this Funky Jams is there. Is anything new in here? No.
come it's not there?
I mean, I thought we'd actually just see it working, you know, like actually moving somewhere, being like, okay, it's uploading. I mean, get info. This is how big the file is. It's only 700, 650. It's not big at all. So this should be really fast.
Yep. Try clicking the new project, the blue button there.
Import
from computer.
Interesting. It just tells me to drag it and drop it into Splice.
Wow, so maybe it is just uploading and it's going to take some time. Scroll down a little on that. Is there anything more?
No.
That's all it says?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's the bottom of it.
Let's move on then. I guess we just have to wait for it to do its thing.
Patiently waiting. I mean, I'll put it in the main folder for now. Just so there's not any confusion.
Probably a good idea.
And I mean, I was able to open it. Everything worked great, so that's good. Do you see this?
What?
It's not finding where to save it. That's weird. I'll just do it here. I'll put it as 0.08. All right.
And then collect all and save it.
Okay. Oh, I was already closing it, man. So it's in there. We know it's in that folder. I mean, I literally moved the entire thing. It's
Okay.
nowhere else on my computer. Okay, so collaborations, Cello Joe. You have new song template project and organic hip hop. Which one were we working on? Oh, this one, huh? JA.
Funky Jams.
Yep. And you were saying.
Snap! I think it's gonna start raining.
Uh-oh. Well, hopefully we get you for another 15.
I'll move inside. It's fine if I start feeling some rain.
Okay. All right. So I'm surprised that it doesn't show it uploading like this. Oh, there it is, dude. So it actually was automatic once I saved it as in the new location. Does that make sense?
That's what it. But it says that you can just drop any project onto the Splice folder.
Yeah.
So maybe it just finished uploading in the background.
It could be that, or it might have been that it speeds up the process by moving it, opening it, saving it as in the folder. Either way, we know that might help out in the future.
So share that project to me. Add me as a collaborator.
Got it. So right here, are you seeing my screen still?
Yep.
Okay, I want to make sure everybody else is too. Yep. All right, and we're going to add collaborators. Okay. Add stems. No stems. Is that weird?
Well, yeah, if you want to add stems, then you would go to the project and you would choose render all tracks.
Oh, okay.
And then you would
I don't need to do
drag
that.
all of the audio files onto,
Yeah.
you would add the stems there.
Okay. I don't need to do that. That's like if I want it really clean for you. Let's just say you're gonna use it.
That's something you do with somebody that like doesn't have the same version of Live, or they're working on it in Logic and you're working on it in Pro Tools or whatever. Then you want to share the audio files because they're gonna just import the audio.
Yep.
Starting.
Okay. So check this out. It said could not upload missing or corrupt dependencies, and it said oh, okay, it's still uploading. Now it's actually showing it uploading. So I'm gonna add a collaborator. No collaborators here yet. Cello Joe. Added. Boom.
Perfect.
Cool. So it is taking longer, and it might be because we did collect all save of like every plugin that I have on my Ableton, which is, it makes it, instead of being like 650 megabytes, it's, you know, over 1 or 2 gigs. Not that big of a deal, but it is showing that it's uploading. I think it just needed to take time, honestly. If I checked my speed right now, yeah, it must be that I'm just not in the Bay Area, man. My speeds are slower here in Grass Valley. So Funky Jam, should I open it, or did I already opened it. Here we go. Should we listen in? We got 10 more minutes here. Yep. Joey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I wasn't showing our Zoom just now. If I think I know what you're doing. Here we go. All right, you guys are hearing that little soft. I'm gonna turn it up. I always find that the preset for hi-hats are always too high. So I'm always going in here and I'm just dropping the volume of the preset by, I don't know, 3 or 4 dB often. Do you find that too, Joey?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also find that putting a little bit of wet on just that hi-hat really kind of puts it behind the mix a little bit. Sometimes it's nice to have it up front, but I think it might serve this song.
What do you mean putting a little bit of wet?
Wet reverb.
Where did you do that?
I didn't do it
Oh,
yet.
you just put reverb.
Yeah, I'm just about to put it
you
right
put
on the hi-hat itself. Yeah.
Oh. That's a good tip.
Yeah, man. For all you people watching out there, if you want to learn more tips, go to sf.garnishmusicproduction.com. We have so many cool curriculums, internationally acclaimed, worldwide. If you sign up for our program, our Academy program, you have access to all 6 locations. I can't name them all off right now, but it's pretty awesome. Great curriculum.
Aren't they like UK based? So like they have one in London?
Yep, yeah. It's UK accredited curriculum. That's where it started, and then it's in New York, Nashville, Tennessee, LA, San Francisco Bay Area is our branch in North Oakland, and there's also a Tokyo branch that just opened up, and they're looking into one in Spain, so you can do some like destination learning sessions in the future. If I knew about this program back in the day, Joey, I would have probably saved at least 10,000 of hours, I would say. Or at least 4,000, I would say. A lot of hours doinking in the wrong direction on this program. But I'm glad we're here today, knowing what we know. And collaborating, even though you're in Vermont and there's a pandemic going on. So
What's crazy is that we're actually collaborating consistently more because there's a pandemic going on.
yeah, cheers to that, man. We should have our little jug of beer. Oh, I was just gonna cheers you, but it looks like you just says Joey Chang. I hear that you're washing your hands now, Joey.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm washing my hands because I'm trying to, practice good hygiene with like the 20 seconds and the, happy birthday 2 times.
Nice, nice. Oh, you know what I've been doing, man? And this actually might be...
All right.
Oh, you there, Joey? There's your pretty face.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So this is what I was going to try and do. I'm going to bring in a new thing to the project, and I'm going to see if you can open it up and what happens when I freeze it, and can you still hear all of my auto correction? Because I'm going to actually do an effect that I don't think you have. It just I'll do waves.
Ultra pitch shift mono. Is that a free?
No, it's wave, and it's not free. It's a paid in.
Waves tune.
Yep.
How much is this? Waves tune.
Waves tune. I think it's like $29. The one that I got. It's a light version. If you guys want to see what it looks like when I play it, here's. Oops. Uh-oh, just disappeared.
Is this like Melodyne?
Yeah. Yep. It's like
Like a cheaper version of Melodyne?
How much is Melodyne?
I don't know. It's expensive though.
Here when you play it, it does it pretty much does the correction for you. Do you remember which key we were in for this song?
Pretty much. I think it was C blues.
Yeah, I have it in C major here on. That's the benefit of having the push too, is it automatically reads the key that you programmed into last. So right here, I'm gonna show you guys what happens when you. Yeah, we're in a chromatic C. I'll bring this up so you guys can see. Right down here it says chromatic C, but I can actually change this to major. So it actually takes out all of the in-between notes that we might not want.
You don't want to do that because it's in C blues. It uses E flat, F sharp, and B flat.
Okay, so C blues, if I remember, let me get my guitar really quick off the wall. It starts on C and goes. Which is actually like E flat major, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of.
So why don't I go to E flat major, which is D sharp major, and those are all the keys now. So let's see how that sounds with the voice.
Oh my God! It's a Melodyne clone.
Yep.
It looks exactly like Melodyne auto tune.
Yeah. All right. So that's a little bit of the fun auto tuning, and then the other one that I put on here is something that I sometimes do just in the background a little bit. So I could bring this gain down to something less. Okay, so sometimes I do this on a separate track entirely. I might want to just double that up. But you can put an octave on it, an octave lower or higher. So what I do sometimes is I Command D, duplicate, and I put this on. Oops. All right, I just put this on one of the tracks. So the ultra pitch will go off one of these. Let's take it off the bottom one. And on the top one, it's still on the ultra pitch. Here it is. And I'll have the ultra pitch in the background. I'll bring this down to way lower, maybe like -6. And this is our main now. I'll rename this JA main. Rename JA octave lower.
Hey Justin.
Yeah.
With the Waves tune, does it automatically kind of snap your voice to exact pitches, or do you have to go in and kind of change the pitches a little bit? Because I've seen other people use Melodyne and they have to like select certain notes and kind of move them up or down.
Yeah, so I have to do that if I don't do the first step, which really helps out the process, is picking the key appropriately. If I picked C major and it had like an E flat in there, or whatever key that we didn't want in there, what was that? I can't remember which one that we didn't want, but
E flat.
No, E flat's in there actually. No, E flat's in the scale. There's certain key, so.
Oh, F sharp.
I think it's B actually. Yeah. So in C major, there's a B, right? But we don't want that B. Instead we want B flat.
Yeah.
So right there, if I put it to the D sharp major, which is like making it in that the blues C that you're talking about, then if I sing like, within I guess 50 cents or 25 cents of the appropriate key, it's gonna find me and adjust correctly. So the two ways that it wouldn't adjust correctly is if I pick the wrong key and if my voice is not within 30 cents of where I want to go. Actually, I think it's within 25 cents, because if it's not within 25 cents, it might pop up or down to the chromatic different note.
Right.
Depending on what it is. Yeah, I think actually down here you could actually put, is there blues?
Yeah, it's got blues right there underneath Mixolydian.
Okay, so I could.
So you could have put C blues.
Okay, let's just see if that makes it any better. It actually took out some more notes. Yeah, that works too. I may have heard a little bit of a difference with it, you know, cutting out a few more notes. But I'm noticing like right here, I pressed the button.
You were singing a D, and that works in C blues, but it's not part of the scale, so.
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to try and see if it goes up into the scale? See what that does?
I don't know, whatever you try and experiment.
Just the way. That's actually. Huh. Oh, this is why this is not. So I am actually working with the octave one on, which is really low in the background.
Oh.
That's why we're not hearing the
Okay.
difference. So now, if we're listening to this, way, there you go. Yeah, that sounds better.
Oh, dude.
So that was a moment where it actually brought me a little bit lower than I want to be, or maybe I was that flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is cool. I've never used these auto-tune plugins. They're amazing. I kind of want to use these on all my cello recordings because I just finished a project for somebody and I had to go in and like tediously separate each part of the audio and then look at a tuner as it played and then note the number of cents that was flat or sharp and then go into the audio clip and adjust that one little audio clip up or down so that it was right on pitch. And
Yeah.
It took forever.
Yeah, man. I mean, unfortunately, I can't share this with you. But I believe that I do have some special discounts with waves that I can send to you through SF Garnish. So all of our students that go through the program and you as a teacher at SF Garnish have access to these discounts. So if you wanted that,
Cool.
just, hit me up after. Oh, it's 4 too. So let me press save on this and see, and I'm going to freeze the file. And I'm also wanting to get these waves. It's already at 14 above. Man, oh man. Make it bigger. That a little bit louder.
It seems like this Waves Tune plugin is like $36.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's the light version. I think what's interesting is that the light version, it's not real time. So like if you wanted to like sing along with it, I don't think it's gonna pick you up real time. But you know, when you're mixing and producing, it doesn't matter. You can just let it play one time through and then listen to it. I think the step up that costs more actually auto-tunes live, but that's what our TC Helicon does as well, the Voice Live 3. So have you tried the tuning with that?
So
Because the Voice Live
Oh, the
3
pitch.
does, yeah, the same thing happens. If you want to set it to a certain key, you know, it's going to work for you. You want to actually practice with the autotune because you want to make sure that you get close enough and it doesn't drop you lower than you want to be or higher than you want to be.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah, no, I have tried that. Are you talking about like the hard tune feature on the Voice Live where it says like pop or
yeah.
subtle or which do you set it on, pop?
I actually don't use the autotune too often. There's some synth things that I like where it kind of makes your voice sound like a synth, and then it also does the auto correction for the synth sound.
Yeah.
That's how I use it.
Melodyne 5 Studio is $700.
Yeah. There's some great deals even during the pandemic. I think that the deal I get might be like 40 or 50% off, and I think because of the pandemic, on Waves, it's like that. You can just look around for the discount. Okay, so I just saved as, but I forgot to close this out. So I'm going to, or freeze it.
Wait, you have to freeze it.
Yeah.
I don't have those plugins yet.
Yeah. So I'm going to freeze these, freeze tracks. And then the goal is that we're going to see if all of what I did today can pop up for you, and how long does that take. I believe because I'm in Grass Valley and my faster upload internet is at 11 instead of your 999 whatever, it's going to be a little bit slower. But if I go back to Splice, it looks like there's a warning with the tipper. So the convolution reverb and the instant house by Alex Kidd are not, somehow they didn't get into the program. So I have to maybe manually bring those in, similar to what I did before. But I don't think we're even using those, are we? Oh, we are. You have convolution reverb, right, Joey?
I have Ableton Live 10 Suite.
Well, you have to download convolution reverb from their website.
Oh, really?
Yeah, check it out, man. Yeah. It's incredible. It's one of my favorite effects, convolution reverb. Yeah, actually, I need to make sure there's a favorites for it over here. I don't think I have it up here yet. Okay, so I did this. I'm going to close this down and save it as, it already is saved as. And then, yeah, that's kind of cool. It shows that it's open now. So if you were working on it, I would actually see that you're working on it, right? Or vice versa.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay, it's updating, and it's in. So actually, this even shows the process of how long it takes. It's 109, and the upload process says 0%. That's this little line going across right here. So this might take a little while, Joey, but why don't you just check this later on today? And even if this might take hours, you know, this is super fast in regard to just sending files back and forth and collaborating quickly. Like, down below, what you're looking at here is the mushy vibes that we did with Evan Frazier, and we can start collaborating on these too. Do you have access to these, by the way?
Not all of those.
Okay,
I
what?
mean, I have my own local version that you sent me via some other service, like WeTransfer or something. But...
Yeah, so I have you as a collaborator right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're
yeah,
on.
I have that one then.
Yeah, let's just start with one of these, Mushroom Vibes 5.
Okay.
And we'll try and maybe put that in as a track too. And we also have all those live tracks with Josh. And yeah, we could put these out in the near future. That'd be great.
Totally. Oh, you mean the recordings that we made with Josh from like the vestry?
The vestry, yeah, live at the vestry in SF. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to sign off here. Oh, that's interesting. So just a little heads up, Joey, for me and you who are doing a lot of live streaming, is I'm uploading right now and I'm also live streaming. And because of that, my live stream just dropped to 1200 and there's 11% dropped frames. So it looks like I shouldn't be doing uploads like this while I'm live streaming. So that's something, because I only have 11 and you know, probably one is taking 3 to 5 and the other one's taking 3 to 5, and then I'm out of space.
So you should just close the Splice app.
Yeah, it is uploading right now. Will it just go in the background probably though? It probably does. Anyway, we're all done with this anyway. So Joey, thanks so much for being with SF Garnish and being one of our valued musicians and teachers in our community in Ableton Live 10 Suite. If you're interested in learning more about Ableton production, please contact us at sf.garnishmusicproduction.com. We have classes year-round in Ableton, Logic, Pro Tools, mixing and mastering, sound design, and more. We have a London accredited, internationally acclaimed curriculum with students coming from all over the world to our location. So please contact us. And thank you, Cello Joe, once again for being with us. And we'll see you very soon. Take care.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you, Joey.